Imagine it's Prohibition America in the Roaring Twenties. It's the world of the Great Gatsby, and despite its illegality, alcohol still flowed. Behind every closed door, one cocktail reigned supreme, the Gin Rickey. Cool, crisp, and dangerously refreshing. So why was everyone willing to risk everything for this cocktail? Let's make one and find out. Hey everyone. The Gin Rickey gets its name from Colonel Joe Rickey in the 1880s. He was a customer rather than a bartender and was sick of all the sweet drinks that were popular at the time. He ordered a bourbon, lime, and sparkling water. And other people loved it so much that they began asking for a Rickey. Over time, gin replaced the bourbon and the Gin Rickey was born. Simple, dry, and refreshing. It became especially popular during Prohibition in the 1920s because gin was easy to make. Ever heard of bathtub gin? And this is where it crosses paths with the Great Gatsby novel. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby during the 1920s and set it in 1922. The Gin Rickey was his favourite cocktail, so he included it in his novel. As the Great Gatsby novel celebrated its 100th anniversary last month, I thought it would be the perfect cocktail to make today. This will be the first time I'm trying it also, so we'll try it for the first time together. So what do we need for today's cocktail? We need, well, I have the bottle around the right way. We need some gin. I'm using Sapphire gin, but you can use any dry gin. And you also need some soda water, or it might be called club soda where you live. Sparkling water will do, fine. And we need a lime and some ice, of course. And I'm making it in a highball glass because that is the glass they used in the 1920s to make Gin Rickeys. So let's get started. Firstly, we need to juice half a lime. It's got my little handy juicer here. So I've just put the lime juice in with a couple of ice cubes. So I've got the lime juice and some ice cubes in the glass, and now I'm just going to drop the squeezed lime half into the glass like that. And now we can measure out our other ingredients. So I'll just get rid of this and this. Okay, so I'd say more ice is called for. Filling it up close to the top. Okay, now, better get the gin in there. We want 45 mils or 1.5 ounces of gin. Fill that right up to the top. I've got a jigger which has 30 mils or 1 ounce on one side and 15 mils or 1/2 ounce on the other. So there we go, that's 30. And put in another 15 or 1/2 ounce to make up the 45. What we need to do now is fill up with soda water or club soda, sparkling water, whatever you like, whatever you have on hand or can get. And fill that up to the top without having it overflow everywhere. Now, let's just give that a stir. We just want to mix everything together. Like this. So here we have the Gin Rickey. Let's give it a taste. That is good. That is really nice actually. I can taste the lime, I love lime. Now this is very similar to a gin and tonic, but just less well known. And I actually prefer it. I'm not really a gin and tonic person. I just don't like the bitterness of tonic water. I've never liked tonic water. Well, we're getting around the tonic water here. So this is pretty much very similar, but much lighter, not so strong in taste. It's dry, but still refreshing. This would be a lovely drink on a hot summer's day if you're outside by the pool. But you know, I'm in autumn here and I still find it very delicious and enjoyable. Wow, that is really nice. It's also interesting in the novel that the lead character, Great Gatsby, for most of the book, abstains from alcohol because he's seen the effects it can have on people, and especially his best friend and mentor who actually ended up dying of alcoholism. And so he stays away from it. But on this hot day at the Buchanan's house, he does comment that the drinks look very cool and decides to have one, just like everybody else. If you like good books, I recommend reading The Great Gatsby. It is a classic, and I read it many years in school, but I've decided, given the 100th anniversary, that I'd give it another go, and I'm very much enjoying it. And it's very interesting because it's written from first person. It's a narrative, like the person telling the story is somebody who doesn't know Gatsby at the beginning of the book, but then gets to know him because they're neighbours, and really tells the story through his eyes, which is an interesting way of doing it. You do get his viewpoints, which may sometimes not be accurate, but it's a very good book to look at characterizations. It's very character focused, and the lavish parties that Gatsby puts on, and the illusion of the American dream, where Gatsby puts on parties, but he doesn't really enjoy them himself. He just mainly observes them, and they're sort of like a means to an end for him. So thanks for joining me this week, and I hope you enjoy the Gin Rickey. If you do, please put a comment down below and let me know how it went and what you think of it. And I will see you next week for another cocktail. Cheers.